The Veil of Fractured Mirrors, a review of Secrets of the Silent Witch, Episode 10. Have you ever glimpsed the splintered reflection of a self long buried, that sharp sting of recognition in a stranger's eyes like shards of glass underfoot, the musty scent of forgotten tomes mingling with the metallic bite of unresolved envy, the whisper of pages turning like fate's inexorable decree, mirroring our ceaseless battle with identity, where the past's shadows demand reckoning at the cost of present peace? In this episode, released on September 5, 2025, as the Riddle Academy arc delves into the labyrinth of academic rivalries and veiled aspirations, Secrets of the Silent Witch unearths the echoes of ambition's cruel forge. Imagine yourself in the hushed grandeur of a tournament hall, the clack of chess pieces echoing like the fateful knocks on Marley's door in A Christmas Carol, or the tense silences of Cold War summits, where every move conceals a gambit of the heart. It's an impression that fractures the surface, a mirrored gaze hinting at buried alliances without shattering the illusion. What resurfaces when old wounds meet new battles? And why does the reflection's pull feel like your own unspoken rivalries, stirring a relentless curiosity to confront the image only the episode can clarify, emerging from the prior episode's fiery aftermath and fragile mercies, where Casey's coerced truths and Lewis's restrained pursuit left embers of conspiracy smoldering. The narrative pivots to scholarly skirmishes as Monica navigates elective pursuits, only to be thrust into a high-stakes chess tournament that dredges up spectral figures from her shadowed history. Amid the polished gleam of strategy boards, evoking the intellectual duels of history's grandmasters like Kasparov's calculated stares, or the veiled intrigues in the Queen's Gambit's competitive arenas. Picture yourself at the edge of the board, fingers hovering over pawns as flashbacks flicker like candlelight on aged manuscripts, alliances form in unexpected makeovers, and confrontations brew in whispered accusations. The episode glides forward, blending academic levity with personal hauntings to deepen the arc's web of guardianship and deceit, yet kindles unresolved sparks. Is this intellectual clash a mere game, or the opening move in a revelation that will upend the board, leaving you aching to position the pieces yourself? This chapter elegantly maneuvers the saga from immediate perils to introspective confrontations, advancing the Riddle Academy narrative by intertwining Monica's covert mission with the resurfacing of her Minerva past, culminating in a chess tournament that serves as a metaphorical battleground for suppressed ambitions. Key revelations ignite in Bernie's accusatory glare, unveiling Monica's history of bullying and unlikely mentorship, while a twist in his resentment reframes her ascension to sage as a perceived betrayal. The cliffhanger simmers in the comedic intervention's aftermath, dangling the threat of exposure amid royal scrutiny. Pacing orchestrates a deliberate cadence, initial elective whimsy accelerating into flashback-laden tension and tournament brinkmanship, balancing cerebral repose with emotional surges like a well-played middle game. Fans often probe cloudy aspects, such as Bernie's volatile outburst, why such venom toward a former protege, or the Seven Sages selection's absurdity, how did Monica qualify after fainting? Drawing from the light novel, Volume 3, primarily chapters 3 to 5, where the anime adheres closely but amplifies visual flashbacks for emotional immediacy. These illuminate. Bernie's rage stems from his status as a second son in a noble house, his family's pressures fueling an inferiority complex detailed in novel asides. His aid to Monica was paternalistic, her unchanted talent a mirror to his chanted limitations, exploding in jealousy upon her sage appointment. The selection, expanded in interludes, hinges on her revolutionary silent magic, her fainting overlooked by evaluators prioritizing innovation over poise, a context foreshadowing Volume 4's sage politics. Its progression that doesn't charge, it maneuvers, urging. If past pawns advance unchecked, what endgame do they force? Souls reflect and refract in the episode's mirrored depths. Monica, the veiled virtuoso, exposes psychological fissures, her hidden scars of social terror manifesting in panic's grip, her motivations of dutiful anonymity consistent yet transformative as she navigates exposure's brink, her choices surprising in their quiet resilience amid makeover's armor. Bernie emerges as a foil of thwarted ambition, his superiority complex a wound from familial neglect, his dialogue a surprising venom that evolves him from savior to antagonist, rooted in unhealed envy. Felix radiates subtle growth, his princely warmth a motivation for protection that surprises in its genuine empathy, while Lana's supportive flair reveals nurturing depths. Rin and Nero inject levity, their antics a consistent bomb transforming chaos into camaraderie. Choices resonate, consistent in core, surprising in their reflective turns. Haven't you stared into that mirror, the ache of a past self demanding acknowledgement when the present demands disguise? Beyond the board's grid, the episode interrogates power's reflective illusion, morality in ambition's shadow, sacrifice as the forfeit of authenticity, manifesting in Monica's silent prowess, a defiant hope against despair's isolating suffocating glare, akin to Icarus's waxen wings melting under aspirational suns. Survival questions identity's cost, Bernie's betrayal a lament for rivalry's corrosion, probing if we are defined by silent triumphs or the echoes we leave in others' fractures. Magical lore deepens with enchanted incantations and sage selection rites, enriching the universe by layering academy hierarchies with historical precedents of merit versus birthright, complicating the realm with cultural biases that echo Renaissance patronage struggles. The script gleams with chess-like precision, sharp as a knight's fork, poetic in its elliptical reflections. Lines like Bernie's barbed accusations carry foreshadowing sting, lingering post-credits like an unresolved check. You think you're above it all, don't you? Clichés, reforged into subtlety, exchanges pulse with subtext. Envision the hall's polished hush surrounding you, the weight of accusatory stares heavy as Hamlet's soliloquies on feigned madness or the tense parleys in the imitation game's code-breaking enclaves. Mesmerizing, multifaceted, musing. What reflection would you shatter in the silence, and what alliance might it forge? Art direction mirrors with exquisite fluidity. Colors shift from warm amber flashbacks to cool academy blues, symbolizing fractured timelines. Lighting's soft diffusions casting shadows of doubt, stillness in Monica's frozen gazes yielding to dynamic piece movements. Beauty here reflects duality, not symmetry, shaping impact as a visceral echo of identity's splintered grace. Angles reflect intimately, overhead tournament sweeps amplifying isolation, compositions framing faces in split-screen echoes, editing's rhythmic cuts syncing to heartbeat accelerations, mirroring tensions build and emotional fissures. The OST reflects as a haunting echo. Subtle pianos elevate revelations, crescendos of stringed tensions burning into memory, motifs of ticking clocks, contrasting verbal voids. Silence dominates confrontations, louder than rebukes, a void where pasts resound. Monica's VA captures tremor with silent intensity, timbre of fragile glass embodying her soul's veiled shatter. Bernie's delivery surges with resentful quiver, intensity forging raw ambition's edge. This chapter doesn't reflect, it refracts, sparking wonder in transformative guises, leaving scars from the cut of rediscovered pains, a tapestry of nostalgia and unease. I felt the mirror's cold touch, a wonder in reclaimed poise amid peril. The climax hints at destiny's glancing not in collision but reflective brush, a breaking point refracting masks through gaze's prism. It mirrors universal queries, like the dual selves in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde's tormented divides or the mirrored rivalries in the prestigious illusory duels. What selves do we conceal to play the game? Sense the glass's weight on your nose, the board's gleam inviting, curiosity cracks. What fracture lies in your reflection, awaiting the move to mend it? Reverse reading acknowledges potential reflections. The episode's flashback density might obscure pacing, complexity veiling Bernie's pivot, opacity in sage lore frustrating. Yet reframe, these are stylistic prisms, opacity a deliberate echo of Monica's veiled world, pacing a mirror to memory's intrusive flood. Appreciation for introspective depth dominates, critique notes comedic interventions tonal jar, a minor distortion in the glass. Episode 10 masters thematic reflection and character nuance, though tonal shifts slightly blur its focus. It succeeds brilliantly in artistic subtlety and narrative layering, a captivating gambit. But as the pieces settle on that shadowed board, a gaze lingering like dawn's first fracture, I whisper this inexorable echo. What if the opponent you face isn't rival, but the self you've long forsaken? Watching is no mere observation. It's the reflection you must confront, the move etched in your questing spirit, pulling you deeper into the mosaic. Gaze in, the mirror, the whisper of concealed flames. A review of Secrets of the Silent Witch, Episode 9. Have you ever borne the scalding hush of a secret too vast to voice, that flickering heat against your tongue like embers swallowed whole, the faint char of unspoken truths mingling with the chill of shadowed cloisters, the tremble of fingers tracing invisible wards in the air, echoing our shared torment with identity, where the mask we wear for safety becomes the pyre of our own isolation. In this episode, aired on August 29, 2025, as the Riddill Academy arc spirals deeper into webs of royal peril and arcane guardianship, Secrets of the Silent Witch confronts the inferno beneath silence. Feel the draft of ancient halls brushing your skin like conspirators' breaths, the distant toll of bells akin to the ominous chimes preceding Rome's Ides or the veiled daggers in the Three Musketeers' courtly dances, where loyalty frays at the first spark of revelation. It's an impression that smolders, a veiled conflagration teasing intimacy without surrender. What ignites when guardians must unveil just enough to shield, and why does the warmth of that disclosure feel like your own guarded heart, kindling an insatiable urge to peer through the smoke yourself, flowing from the prior episode's barrier breach and simmering suspicions around Casey's volatile affinities, where whispers of sabotage echoed through the Academy's spires? The narrative ignites into confrontation as an assassination bid on Prince Felix unfurls in twisted flames, only for Monica's veiled vigilance to quench the blaze. Amid the acrid haze of aftermath, evoking the tense reckonings in history's shadowed tribunals like the Star Chamber's inquisitions or the fevered confessions in the Crucible-esque witch hunts. Imagine yourself in the dim student council chamber, parchments fluttering like startled birds as admissions spill and negotiations coil like serpents. Monica brokers fragile mercies, forging uneasy pacts that bind foes and allies alike. The episode hurtles toward tentative resolutions laced with royal realizations, transitioning the arc from isolated threats to entangled intrigues, yet fans the flames of uncertainty. Is this dousing of fire a victory, or the spark that will consume the Academy's fragile peace, leaving you scorched with the need to chase its glow? This installment masterfully escalates from defensive skirmishes to a pivotal crossroads of consequence, propelling the Rid-Ill Academy narrative by resolving the immediate assassination threat while unspooling threads of broader conspiracy that ensnare the royal lineage. Key revelations simmer in Casey's candid admission and Monica's deft intervention against the barrier which Lewis's lethal pursuit, a twist that reframes the barrier's ruination not as mere sabotage but a calculated veil for deeper machinations. The cliffhanger lingers on Felix's dawning awareness, a prince's gaze piercing Monica's mute facade to hint at seismic shifts in guardianship. Pacing pulses with exquisite tension, leisurely post-crisis dialogues yielding to charged horse-riding vignettes and council room barters, achieving dramatic equilibrium through juxtaposition of quiet vulnerability and veiled urgency. Yet, enthusiasts often dissect cloudy aspects, such as Casey's abrupt confessional zeal. Why expose herself so readily? Or the barrier's supernatural fragility? Does its fall imply a sage-level betrayal? Illuminating from the light novel, Volume 3, Chapters 1-2, where the anime commences adaptation with fidelity to Monica's internal trepidations but condenses the political extortion for visual rhythm, these gain clarity. Casey's zeal masks a coerced enchantment from a nascent antagonist cabal, a motif unpacked in novel interludes as flame-binding curses that compel truth amid torment, foreshadowing Volume 4's Sage Summit, the barrier's breach, detailed as a resonance exploit against Monica's own spells, underscores her self-doubt as a thematic fulcrum, the anime amplifying this via added dorm-bound tenderness to heighten emotional stakes. It's a progression that doesn't blaze, it banked fires, inviting you to question. If secrets fuel the guard, what conflagration do they court? Beneath the episode's embers, interiors crackle with revelation. Monica, the silent witch incarnate, unearths profound psychological strata, her hidden wounds of paralyzing shyness manifesting in transformative hesitations, her motivations of selfless occlusion consistent yet surprising in their bold brokerage, evolving her from spectral observer to tentative architect of mercy. Felix, the princely enigma, stirs with unexpected ardor, his growth from oblivious heir to perceptive protector rooted in long-standing admiration, his dialogue a surprising bridge of warmth that surprises in its disarming candor. Casey flickers as a tragic catalyst, her choices a whirlwind of compulsion revealing fractured loyalties, while Lewis embodies rigid duty's chill, his restraint a nod to deeper allegiances. Even Cyril's peripheral warmth hints at budding attachments, choices aligning authentically, transformative in their ripple. Have you ever felt that flicker, the terror of a mask slipping when protection demands proximity? The episode delves past intrigue's veil, manifesting power as a silencing blaze. Monica's mute might probing morality's mute bargains, sacrifice etched in the quiet forfeiture of isolation, survival teetering hope against despair's smoldering doubt, akin to Antigone's defiant burial rites amid tyrannical edicts. These pulse in struggles. Felix's epiphany a spark of connection defying royal detachment. Casey's bind a lament for agency lost, questioning if silence safeguards or suffocates the soul's true incantation. Arcane lore unfurls with flame-binding curses and barrier resonances, enriching the universe by intertwining magical taboos with academy politics, complicating the sage hierarchy with cultural edicts that mirror historical inquisitions, heightening the stakes of veiled identities. The script kindles with restrained eloquence, sharp as a ward's edge, poetic in its elliptical grace. Lines like Monica's gestural please carry foreshadowing warmth, resonating post-credits like a dying hearth. Some flames beg to be banked, not banished. Clichés transfigured into subtlety. Exchanges hum with implication. Picture the council's hush enveloping you, the weight of coerced truths heavy as Joan of Arc's trial oaths or the whispered pacts in the name of the rose's monastic shadows. Mesmerizing, mysterious, murmuring. What admission would you utter in the fire's gaze, and what sanctuary does it promise? Art direction glows with intimate fluidity. Colors warm in flame-tinged ambers juxtaposed against cool cloister blues blues, symbolizing concealed passions, lighting's flickering lanterns casting shadows of doubt, stillness in Monica's poised silences yielding to dynamic equine sweeps. Beauty here whispers transience, not triumph, shaping impact as a tactile evocation of vulnerability's glow, angles intimate and overhead, close captures of trembling hands amplifying inner tempests, compositions framing figures in isolating frames within frames, editing's languid rhythm sinking to hesitant breaths, mirroring tension's simmer and emotional unveiling. The OST simmers as a spectral ember. Haunting lutes elevate confessions, crescendos of string sighs burning into recall, motifs of muffled incantations contrasting verbal voids. Silence crowns negotiations, louder than admissions. A hush where secrets breathe. Monica's VA, in wordless tremors, embodies soul-deep reticence with exquisite fragility, intensity of veiled thunder. Felix's timbre warms with boyish revelation, a tremor of awe capturing princely thaw. This episode doesn't scorch, it sears subtly, sparking wonder in merciful gestures, leaving scars from the ache of half-veiled truths, a medley of tenderness and trepidation. I felt the hush's heavy embrace, a wonder in forged intimacies amid peril. The climax hints at destiny's brushing not in explosion but ember touch, a breaking point refracting guards through gaze's prism. It echoes eternal inquiries, like the silent vows in Elizabethan intrigues, or the hushed loves in Jane Eyre's Attic confessions. What secrets do we harbor to protect the ones we can't name? Sense the blanket's woolen weight on your shoulders, the dawn's tentative light, curiosity kindles. What flame flickers in your silences, awaiting the breath to fan it alive? Reverse reading concedes potential embers. The episode's introspective lean might veil opacity in Casey's pivot, pacing a slow burn amid denser lore, complexity shrouding motivations. Yet reframe. These are deliberate flickers, opacity a thematic shroud on concealed intents, pacing a mirror to silence's deliberate drag. Appreciation for emotional nuance prevails. Critique tempers with skipped vignettes wistful absence, a minor ash in the hearth. Episode 9 excels in thematic warmth and character intimacy, though adaptive trims slightly dim its blaze. It succeeds luminously in artistic subtlety and narrative kindle, a beguiling hush. But as the Academy's lanterns gutter on unspoken oaths, a prince's gaze lingering like dawn's first spark, I breathe this inexorable warmth. What if the secret you guard isn't peril, but the light that redeems your shadowed self? Watching is no whisper. It's the incantation you must murmur, the ward etched in your secret.